Hello, buddies. You are listening to MWM Podcast, and this is episode number 10 of Movies Topic. It's a great thing because we are moving into double digits, and this is the first live podcast for Movies Topic. So, today, for this special episode, we have a special guest speaker. But before we jump into the episode, let me brief you the agenda that we are gonna do. So straight away we'll let you know who's our guest speaker, and then an origin story of their background, and then what's the favorite movie that they are going to recommend us for us today in this podcast, and how this movie impacted them and will impact you if you decide to watch, and some fun activities to go with. So without wasting any further time, let's jump into the podcast.
Hi. Hi, MaddiE.
Wait. Okay, yeah. Our guest speaker jumped in straight away. So, yeah, we have a special guest speaker, and I'll let her do the introduction. Yes, Sharmila, you can have the floor.
Hi, MaddiE. Sorry about
It's
jumping
okay.
in too fast
Yeah.
because, as you said, this is my first live stream as well. My first live stream ever
Okay.
as well. So I'm also pretty new to it. So excuse that glitch.
Yeah.
Uh, a
Yeah.
little bit about my background is so I have been a writer since I was 16 years
Whoa.
of age,
Okay.
and majorly I write poetry, uh, and amongst other hobbies, watching movies in all languages is one of them.
Okay.
And uh, I don't have any particular genre. If I like the writing or if I like the narration of the movie, I watch it. I watch it more than once.
Okay.
So it spans across comedy, horror, thriller, horror comedy,
Okay.
uh, drama. But the writing or the story has to be very uh, uh, compact or very tight knitted. So more than anything, that actually uh, is what that attracts me to a
Okay.
particular movie.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, Sharmila is actually from our writers club. So she attended a story writing workshop, and as she said, she's a well-versed writer, especially in poetry writing. And she happened to watch movies, so I was lucky to get her on the podcast show for movies. So yeah, thank you for coming to the show, Sharmila. So yeah, so now we'll get into the topic. So the first topic is the origin story. So basically, in this segment, we would like to know, when did you start watching movies? Like, when was that exact stage you got fascinated? Okay, these are movies, and there are fictional stories, and there are stories inspired or based on true events. And when you discovered your favorite genre, like a thriller or horror, or it's a slow moving drama. So when did it exactly start, and what kind of movies you initially watched, and how long have you been watching movie? It's your origin story that we would like to hear.
uh, First of all, MaddiE, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. As I told in the previous segment, there's no particular genre. If I actually watch the trailers. I love watching trailers. So while watching a trailer, if that trailer, the way it is packaged, if that interests me, I watch it. I don't really have a specific set genre. And coming to your first question, so I'm from a very small town of Jamshedpur, and it was in the year 2007 when
Okay.
I completed my 12th, and I traveled to Calcutta for higher studies.
Okay.
So then, during that time, the ticket prices in a movie theater were like really economical. It was what, 60 rupees a ticket.
Okay.
And I think the first movie that I watched in a theater by myself or with my friends was this movie called Jab We Met.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, yes, it is lighthearted and it is comedy and everything, but uh, the excitement of watching a movie with friends was really good. So that experience I really liked. And then I'm also a little bit of a reserved person. So the next time I watched a movie in the theater, I went alone because I was curious that, okay, I watched it with friends, I liked it. What if I watch it by myself? And when I watched a movie by myself,
Okay.
uh, it, I mean, I enjoyed it more. I was more analytical about it. I was thinking, ki, acha, aisa, like, if he is doing this, then why shouldn't he be doing that? Like, logical the logical mapping or something of that sort. It was a Bengali movie
Okay.
that I watched by myself. So, and it was a thriller.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, though I like watching movie with friends, I enjoy watching it by myself also because uh, it gives me this mind space to kind of think things parallelly, and it makes me analyze or realize how I feel or what am I thinking or how is that movie impactful enough? Has it impacted me or not? Which you don't when you tend to watch it with friends because it's an excitement or an enjoyable experience. So that's that, and yeah, that's about it. I think it started in the year 2007, and I try to watch at least one movie. Now with the OTT platforms, we are spoiled for choices, so I try to watch good movies, at least one movie every 2 days, say
Mm.
on Netflix or on Prime. Those underrated movies, those movies that are kind of, they are hidden in the pile. And the movie that I selected today is uh, is one such movie that I was lucky enough to pull out of that pile and watch it recently.
Yeah, that was amazing, and I envy you because you said you watch two movies per 2 days, is it?
I try to watch one movie in 2 days, but I try. But
And here I am not able to watch even one movie per month.
no,
So
I
yeah,
watch it on Netflix. I can't go to the theater and watch it
okay.
because I mean it's not I mean like uh my job and house and like taking care of all the other things, it doesn't really allow me to watch one movie in every 2 days in the theater. But there are a lot of movies on Netflix, good movies on Netflix, amazing movies on Prime. There is a beautiful platform called Mubi.
Okay.
So I kind of pull out the movies that might be underrated or that might be a hidden gem from those platforms, and I watch the movies at the comfort of my house in on those platforms. I actually am a home bug, so uh, I want to experience the magic of movies staying at home, unless and until it's a movie like Stree or something, which I really have to go to the theater and watch it because I like that entire experience of people shouting and screaming and like confetti being thrown in front of the screen where the hero appears. So I love that entire experience, which you
Okay.
get in a single screen here.
Very nice. Yeah, that's Sharmila's origin story for you guys. She even remembered the exact year she fell in love with movies. 2007. I don't think I remember, but it's great to. It was great to hear your what do you say? A fascination towards movie and it is really good that you do not have any favorite genre. Very few people would be like that, and based on trailers. So again, that is something very few people would do. Based on trailers, they decide to watch and finding hidden gems. Yeah, let's move on to the main topic of today's podcast. So, what is that special movie? I mean, it's in the title always, guys. So, you guys would be already knowing that movie. So, what is the special movie that you have brought for the audience today?
So I'm going to open a secret here, Maddie. We actually there were quite a few movies that I gave Maddie,
Okay.
but but Maddie said that no, Sharmila, we can talk about only one movie in this episode. So out of that list, I selected this particular movie as it's written in the thumbnail. Sorry, as it appears in the thumbnail. It's called Speak No Evil.
Yeah.
uh, it was released in the year 2022,
Yeah.
and though it's officially a Danish movie, 70% of it is in English, 30% of it is in Danish.
Okay.
And yes, it is currently it is available for viewing on Prime.
Amazing. Yeah.
And in 2 years, like in 2024, an American or a remake has been released. It's actually running in the theaters right now.
Okay.
It's the American version or a remake of it. But I would suggest that to watch the original version because it's more hard hitting and
Okay.
it's more impactful. It's more so the narrator tries to through this story tries to give us a message. It's a cautionary tale. It's a message of caution, and I think it is more impactful the way it is shown in the original movie. And in the remake, though independently it's very good. Of course, James McAvoy is there in the US version in the remake,
Okay.
so it has to be good. uh, but I felt when I watched the 2024 version, I felt that it's more diluted. It's less dark, more diluted, and that's where the purpose is not delivered 100%.
Oh.
Whereas the Danish version, it will definitely it'll hit you hard. The ending is dark. It will hit you hard, but it will do the job of uh, exactly communicating the message that the narrator wants to communicate.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, that was very compelling and tempting introduction you gave for the movie. So now let's hear more. So what is the story? So we are going to talk about the original movie, right? 2022,
Yes, yes.
Speak No Evil, which is available in Amazon Prime as well. So, what is the story?
So I won't give away the entire story. I'll just tell you about the synopsis.
Okay.
It's about a couple who have an 8-year-old daughter, and that couple goes for a vacation in Tuscany. Okay, and that couple, they are too sweet, too kind. They are people pleasers. uh, they don't, or they prefer not to engage in uncomfortable conversations. They don't converse, like they don't sit in front of each other and talk about their problems. Though they have a lot of surface level problems, they don't do that. And it's the same when it comes to interacting with others as well. So while they stay in Tuscany, they meet another couple, and that other couple is from Holland, and they befriend both the couples. They become friends and stuff like that, and then they go their separate ways. They fly back to their hometowns, and then this other couple, Patrick and I think the couple number two, the
Okay.
husband's name is Patrick and the wife's name is Karen.
Okay.
So Patrick and Karen, they say that, hey, we enjoyed your company. Why don't you come and stay with us uh, for a weekend?
Okay.
And couple number one, who the husband's name is Brion and the wife's name is Louise. Though Louise has her, reservations that we don't know them well enough. Brion says that, hey, why don't we go? It'll be an adventure and this and that. The reason being that Brion, as a husband and as a father, is not appreciated within
Okay.
his family, and that kind of appreciation, Patrick sprinkles all over him when they befriend. Okay,
Okay.
when they get to know each other. So that's why Brion is more inclined towards going for a visit, and then they go for a visit, and they go for a visit. And during that, uh, the entire movie is like the other couple number two, testing that how far they can push their boundaries. All right, there are many instances where uh, they have pushed their boundaries just to test couple number one. And Brion and Louise, they don't, I mean, they adjust with everything. They don't say no to anything. For example, I'll give you an example. Louise is a vegetarian. For
Oh.
whatever reason, she says it's good for the environment. I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
And when they go, when they visit Patrick and Karen,
Okay.
they go to a restaurant, a very high end restaurant. And Patrick says that, like, he kind of judges her, and he kind of tries to get into a, like, dismisses her choice, that, oh, you eat fish but you don't eat other meat, and that is good for the environment, eating fish. The husband, Brion, Lewis's husband, doesn't say anything, which shows that he is very weak as a man.
Okay.
Lewis also, she just laughs it off, and like she just laughs it off.
Hmm.
All right. And then uh, they have their dinner and everything, and towards the end, the couple, the second couple, that is Patrick and Karen, they make uh, Brion and Louis pay for the dinner,
Okay.
saying that, where in the first, when they invited them, it kind of was communicated that the dinner is on them, right? And they're okay with it. Okay.
Okay.
So that is one. Second instance is like, when Luis is taking a shower, Patrick just comes in very casually, brushes his teeth, and goes out, and she doesn't say anything,
Okay.
right? So throughout the movie, Patrick and Karen, what they are doing is they are testing to what extent can they go, or can they push their boundaries, so that they will say something or they will fight back.
Okay.
And there's a reason for it. So towards the end, I know it's a little bit of a hard spoiler, but uh, I will not tell you too much into it. So towards the end, of course, Patrick and Karen, they are not your usual couple.
Okay.
They are they are predators. Okay, they
Oh.
are predators,
Okay.
and they are predators, and they kind of take advantage of people.
Okay.
And the end is basically, there are so many small situations that Patrick gives to Brion as the man of the family to fight back, protect his family, but he doesn't take those
Okay.
uh, chances, right? Even at the end, when everything is transformed into chaos, where it is make or break, even at that point,
Hmm.
Patrick gives Brion a choice, not a choice, no, not a very clear choice, but a very subtle, like, the director has shown it in a very subtle way that, this is his moment, he has to either make or break it. And Brion, showing that he's a very weak man, he just sits there. And as a result of it, uh, Patrick and Karen, they succeed in whatever they had planned, right?
Okay. Okay.
So, which is not. very good. Which is, trust me, I cannot spoil the ending,
Okay.
but it's a very bitter ending,
Okay.
very bitter. Okay, which shows that if you don't say no when your buttons are being pushed,
Hmm.
when you are uncomfortable, if you don't say no just to not upset the other person, what is the worst that can happen? That's what is shown there.
Okay.
Okay. And be the man of the family, be the woman of the family, it is your responsibility and your duty when you are in a part of, when you are the part of your family, either you're the provider or you're the carer, it is your responsibility to protect your family at the expense of other people's happiness or egos or whatever. Like the mother, Louise, at certain points in times we see her stand up, but Brion is absolutely like, he does not at all has the courage to fight back.
Okay.
Why? It's mentioned in the movie. How it unfolds, it's mentioned in the movie. So I'm not spoiling that.
Yeah.
But it's a very hard hitting movie which tells us how important it is to say no uh, when uh, when you're at a point where you know that you'll be harmed,
Okay.
you know, or how important it is to say no. And it doesn't matter if the other person, if you say no and the other person feels bad, it doesn't matter, because there are boundaries that needs to be adhered to.
Okay.
Otherwise people will come, people will take advantage of you, people will harm you and your family members and will go.
Yeah. I
So
can.
saying no is very important, and that's what the narrative, entire narrative is.
Yeah, I mean that sounded like a psychological thriller, disturbing
Yeah.
thriller. Yeah, for your information, I'm actually playing the trailer in the video clip, so your voice along with the trailer, so the audience will get to see the trailer as well. Okay, moving on. So it was a very impressive elaboration of the story and narrative. Now let's talk about the characters. So from the brief that you gave, we at least have four characters. So two couples, right? Husband and wife and husband and wife. So
We have six characters.
okay, so
Uh,
overall, okay. So
hmm.
talk about the characterization. Who's your favorite character in that?
My favorite, honestly, there are no favorite characters in this
Okay.
movie because they are so, like, it's like black and white. Like,
Okay.
one is completely, what do you say? One is completely dark and the other one is completely uh, opposite, like white. But if I, the character that I really feel for, or the two characters that I really feel for, is are the children. Uh,
American
uh,
couple.
yeah, are the children. Uh,
Okay.
Abel and Agnes.
Okay.
Agnes is the daughter of couple number one, that is Brion and Louise, and Abel is introduced as the uh, son who cannot speak, of Karen and Patrick.
Okay.
He's introduced to them. So those are the two children, or those are the two characters that I feel for in this movie. But if you watch the movie, you'll understand why I don't have any favorite characters, because the movie is so there's no gray area. It's either black or white. So that's why I can't pick any favorite characters, any
Yeah,
of my favorite
I
characters
mean,
there.
I'm sorry. I should have put this question as the character that you related to most. So, in case of entertaining movies, it's favorite character. But then, when we have a specific genre like psychological thriller or horror drama
Mhm.
like this, so I think the good question would be like which character you related to the most or felt more pity. So, I guess you answered that. So, yeah, so you're saying that the characters are developed and then you could relate to them and you could feel the hate to the other couples. That's what I mean.
Yes, I think more than hate, I felt I felt a sense of fear, which if you are too involved, or if somebody gets too involved while watching a movie, like I get very involved if a movie is very uh, gripping, like if it's a fun movie, I just laugh it off, right? If it's something like Stree or Andaz Apna Apna, I just laugh it off.
Hmm.
But if you watch a movie like this,
Okay.
or even a movie like Joker, especially, okay, we are, if since you are talking about this movie,
Hmm.
if you watch a movie like Speak No Evil,
Hmm.
for me, I get very engrossed. Okay, and I don't. I mean, I am completely 100% paying attention to what is going on. So,
Okay.
more than anything, I felt a sense of like fear. Yes, what they have shown is an extreme version, but that does not mean that that will not happen in life,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
uh, Basically, the narration is you have to say no, you have to learn to say no. And so many people in today's world, okay, so many people in today's world, so many men, so many women in today's world, they don't know how to say no, and it's affecting them, in a very bad way. Of course, this is what has been shown in the movie is extreme, but basically, if you don't know where when to say no, it will come and it will bite you, and that is so true. And
Okay.
that is a sense of fear, and most of us, when we are in that situation, we don't know when it is the right time to say no. It's through practice and through self-awareness that uh, we get to know that, okay, this is not okay, I'm not okay with it, I'm not comfortable with it, hence I'll say no.
Okay.
But that comes with with some experiences, after we have been, or at least I have been burnt couple of times, and then I have developed this habit of saying no, of being direct.
Okay.
So more than any emotion, it inculcated in the emotion of fear in me, because it just says it's true. I mean, what they showed, though it's extreme, but the thing is, you want to protect yourself, you have to stop being a people pleaser. You have to sit and talk about things that are uncomfortable, because you are not okay with it. And people who don't do that, they become weak, and towards the end, they pay the price of it. They pay the price of it, and their family pays the price of it.
Yeah.
So
Not sure about the real life, but I learned this lesson way back in the corporate IT life itself. So
yeah.
never overwork, over deliver, and always try to tell them no directly. So all this I learned from corporate life, but it's good to see that there's a movie on this concept, and I'm really interested now. Okay, let's move on. So I'm aware that you are just a writer and you have not explored filmmaking and also, but I just want to ask some technical aspects, like as a viewer,
Mhm.
common viewer, without any filmmaking, without knowing any filmmaking technicalities, did you recognize or get to realize some amazing camera work or lighting that has been done,
Oh
especially this
yes, oh
is
yes,
yeah, especially
oh
this
yes.
is a horror drama or like psychological thriller movie, right? So I'm sure the camera work as well as the lighting would have played a great role. So but as a common viewer, did you notice any specific or like extraordinary work here?
Oh yes, I did. I did, and I mean, I think way back in my postgraduate diploma, I did write a screenplay for a short film, but I didn't act in it, so I just wrote the screenplay. And from borrowing, if memory serves me right, I can borrow some elements from my learnings during that time.
Okay.
Uh, so with that in mind, there is this one scene
Hmm.
which, when you watch the movie, is the scene. Okay, I will not tell you why it is the scene,
Okay.
but it's an iconic scene.
Okay.
It's a scene where they had this. Both the couples had an altercation, saying that, hey, you know what? These are the things we are not okay with,
Hmm.
and they are kind of They are kind of saying that, okay, we'll just cool down and we'll just have a good day, whatever is left. 1.5 days are left, we'll just try and have a good time.
Hmm.
And then the men, they go to the, and so they stayed somewhere in the countryside, in the outskirts, and then they go to the city to get some supplies. And while they're coming back, both the guys, they're talking, and Brion, he almost breaks down, saying that uh, I almost feel that I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a guy who plays squash once a week
Hmm.
and go to the office, do my work, and
Hmm.
come back. That's my life.
Hmm.
And I want to scream very loudly, but I mean, sorry, I want to scream very hard, but I'm not able to. And sometimes I feel this is not the guy I was supposed to be. This is not the man I was supposed to be. And that actually beautifully ties back to the first few scenes of the movie, where we are shown that people are taking him for granted just because he's too good. He says yes to everything that his
Okay.
daughter says yes to everything that his wife says. So Patrick, that time, uh like the camera is actually the camera is facing Brion from the shoulder of Patrick, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
it's kind of Patrick's POV. Like, I don't know what it is exactly called. So
Over
it's
the
like,
shoulders, yeah.
yeah. And Patrick at that time feels very sad.
Okay.
Okay. And then they go to this place, and this is the key scene that I'm talking about. Goes to this place where he just says that scream.
Hmm.
um, and he screams, both of them scream. And then there is this, the camera goes like, they zoom out, and you just hear faint noises. When they
Oh,
scream, you just hear faint noises. That means that, okay, this is a space where you can scream, you can vent, and people will not notice.
okay.
Okay. uh and why this is an iconic scene, that will be revealed. And why I told this, it has a very dark thing, it has a very sinister turn, that will be revealed at the end. But
Okay.
this scene, it just shows that for a man also, like, all women, okay, all women, they say that we want a nice man. Most of the women, they don't say that we want a manly man. They will
Okay.
not say that we want a provider. All right. But if
Okay.
they will all say, or most of them will say that we want a nice guy.
Okay.
But if you see a nice guy will keep quiet. Most of the nice guys, they will keep quiet. They will not indulge in conflicts or anything, because they are not wired that way. They are very sensitive. And when you get the nice guy, you don't respect him.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm sorry if it is controversial, but this is what it is.
Okay. Okay,
Like,
nice. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
see, there is a conflict. Like, from a character perspective, Patrick is this guy who is masculine, and he that's how they have shown him, like, masculine guy who provides, who cooks wild boar for his family, right? And then there is Brion, who helps his wife in the kitchen, who like, who doesn't say much, who's very quiet, but at the same time he doesn't want to involve in any conflict, even when it uh, even when his daughter or his wife is, at the receiving end. He's a nice guy,
Okay.
he's very sensitive,
Okay.
but he will not involve in any conflict,
Okay.
right? So we all say that, no, I want nice people, I want a nice guy, I want a nice girl. But you have to see that the person you are choosing to be with, or the person you are becoming, you have to have that, okay, I am nice, but at the same time I have the capability of being a warrior also. Like, uh, a very very famous clinical psychologist, Jordan Peterson, said this quote, that you have to be a warrior in a garden rather than being a gardener in a war. if
Okay.
that makes sense, right? So this also kind of I digress from the topic, but this also makes complete sense that if you see that scene, he is a gardener in a war. Like if there is any situation which is very very serious, he will respond only when it is too late, being
Okay.
the protector of the family,
Hmm.
right? So he is a gardener in a war.
Hmm.
But there it is very very important. Okay, you are a nice person, it's good, it's great to be a nice person, but you should have the capability of being dangerous also, to protect you yourself and your loved ones. That's what the movie tries to say.
Okay.
And the scene that I'm talking about, where the voices go faint, where they scream and all, Brion wants to be the protector, but he doesn't, he there is no motivation for him, right? Because his wife will not listen to any of his suggestions that is made. His daughter doesn't listen to him. So even though he wants to be a protector, he cannot be a protector because there is no respect that is given to him. And it's not shown in a very very blatant way, it's shown in very very subtle way, and that is what is frustrating him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, very nice. And I like the way that you set up the scene, like when it comes and then you explain the camera work. So you kind of appreciate the movie deeper than I thought. Like, cool. That was really cool. And also the after talk about characterization in life as well. Like, it's really illuminating. Let's take a breeze and one disclaimer. So Google Meet has this limit of 1 hour. So in case we cut off, we will rejoin in the same link. Is it okay?
Sure, sure,
Uh,
sure.
they have this weird free limit. Okay, so we're gonna take a breeze, and that means it's time for fun activities, guys. So uh, the activity that we're gonna give Shamila is looks like she has been impacted by this movie a lot because she's able to recollect the character names and the exact scenes and the camera work that impressed her and the way the camera work in technical terms she even mentioned the shot type like OTS. So I'm really impressed. So now you are going to what do you say? uh, uh, talk talk the audience to not watch this movie. Okay, so so this is definitely when you are talking and when you're saying this all these movies and when you said speak no evil, when you Google about it, people are going to end up watching it and imagining you listen to a podcast about this movie. So definitely audience are going to be compelled to watch this, but now try to undersell and I mean not sell this movie.
Oh yes, yes. It's a movie which is not light-hearted.
Okay.
So it's a movie. It's like if you want to watch a international movie and have fun, this is not the movie that you should watch.
Okay.
Uh, if you are if somebody is uncomfortable saying no, they always want to be a nice person and they always want to be, that nice guy or a nice girl, and if you're a well-adjusted person, nice well-adjusted person, I don't think this movie will ring right with you.
Mhm.
So I think then you should give it a miss.
Okay.
Oh, having uncomfortable conversation when it is a good thing, it's never a good thing having an uncomfortable conversation.
Okay.
So yeah, and this movie is completely, it's filled with uncomfortable moments and uncomfortable instances and uncomfortable conversations.
Okay.
So uh, who so an audience or the target audience who absolutely hate, of course a lot of us hate uncomfortable conversations, we don't really enjoy it. So the maybe this movie might be might be what do you say, might be a dud. Because I don't think I think one or two people love uncomfortable conversations, but the rest of us we don't. Uh, and oh yes, there is no song and dance in this movie, so
No masala.
no
Okay.
masala. Very dark, very gory.
Okay.
Um, So you it's not the, like, it's not the La La Land of psychological thriller. So there is no, there's no comic element to it.
Okay.
So yeah, and it will disturb you. So if you want to go for a movie experience and not be disturbed or not be impacted or not want to think about the movie for like days together, then this movie is definitely a miss. So please miss this movie if you are any of.
So, yes, guys, that means if you are a polite person, then don't watch this movie. If you are afraid of uncomfortable situations, don't watch this movie. And if you want masala in your life, definitely don't watch this movie. So, that's the three major points that Shamila is making for us. I hope you enjoyed not selling this movie. So, let's go to the honest feelings now. So, the main topic that we were talking about is movies that impacted you, especially movie endings that impacted you. So that's the topic you want to talk about. And from the way you describe the movie and explain the story, it's evident that you are impacted by it, because it seems like you learned a lot of lessons in this. So let's wrap this show by you telling us why someone should watch this movie. I'm sure you have covered the point, but just recapitulate. And then first is how it impacted you when you saw it first time, like, and then like why anyone should watch this movie. So yeah, go with your honest feelings now. I'm not restricting you with any fun activities.
Uh, Maddie, mm, there's this. I was reading something randomly a few days back, and there's this line that said that the sweetest and the best word in a woman's vocabulary is the word no.
Oh,
Okay, and it, because I tell you why, because as per that article, it opens up new pathways, it opens up uh, new opportunities, pathways to new opportunities, pathways to success, pathways to experiences that you not even couldn't even think of that you might get. So the best word in a woman's vocabulary is no.
okay.
I would I would further expand that, saying that the best word in any person's vocabulary should be no.
I was about to ask what's for men. Thank you for
Yeah,
extending.
it should be no. I'm not saying that no, 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 no. You have to be this stubborn brat and say no to everything that is good for you.
Okay.
But as an adult, we all are adults, and the TG or the demo of this particular podcast in your community are adults. And as adults, it's very important to learn and be aware of when to say no, to be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations, to putting your word across in a way which is respectful, which is respectful, but at the same time it protects you as well. And in this process, if somebody is upset, that may be your friends, that may be your family, that may be your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever, if somebody is tampering with your boundaries, if somebody is tampering with your peace, best word to say is no. You are not allowed to do that. It
Okay.
will it will be hurtful, it will be painful momentarily. For a few months it will cause you pain. There may be instances where people will maybe won't talk to you, but in the long run it will be good for your mental health.
Okay.
So that's the takeaway. Basically, this movie is a cautionary tale of saying that people who are too comfortable being too rude, people who are too comfortable being too kind, pay the price, because it's a good thing to be kind, but if you are kind at the cost of hurting, putting yourself in danger, and not because the other person will be upset, this that then that is not kindness, that will put you in the danger. That is what the movie is telling, that it's a cautionary tale.
Hmm.
It is good to be a balanced person. You want to be kind. I'm a very kind person. I would like to believe that I'm a very kind person. I'm kind to people and kind to animals. I'm respectful to people. But everyone should have boundaries which nobody can cross. And if they cross, a person should have the gravitas to say that, hey, if you don't stop, I walk out. And if that doesn't happen, then that person pays the price for his or her kindness. That's what is a takeaway for me.
Wow. Yeah. So you're saying that this is not just another, horror or psychological thriller movie that amuses you or entertains you in your own genre way, but also teaches some life lessons that you might
Yeah,
be.
it teaches some life lessons in a very very disturbing way. Like a person who is very involved will be disturbed for at least a day or two,
Okay. Okay.
because it just shows what is the worst that can happen if you don't start saying no when it's most required.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean,
So yeah,
that's
it's an extreme case that they have shown, but nonetheless.
that's what movies are for, right? So sometimes we can't, we don't take that decision, or we don't test ourselves or experiment ourselves. So movies
Hmm.
puts us in this character's perspective and tells you, like, that's why we love movies, right? So most of them.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
And
amazing. Yeah.
just one thing, I would suggest to watch the Danish version first,
Okay.
and then the American version. If if they want to watch the American version, but not the other way around, because the American version independently it's a great movie, but it's very diluted.
Okay.
Whereas the Danish version is very raw and it's just it is as it is.
That's
So
European cinema for you. As
yes.
real and you raw as possible. Yeah, I mean, I'm exploring European cinema in the last 1 year, so it's good to know this movie. And obviously, any day, to my audience at least, I always recommend to watch it in the original language. So if it's a Japanese movie or Swedish movie, watch it in original language. So all the OTTs will have English subtitles. So it's
Hmm.
good to feel the characters' raw emotion in their own language rather than a dubbed one. So I would go one step further and ask you guys to watch it in the original language with English subtitles, and then if you're interested, okay, there's been a remake or another version, so watch the other movie as well. So good that she's also recommending, Shamila is recommending the same, like watch the Danish movie first and then go on to watch American movie if you're interested. And yeah, coming to your experience, I'm sure this, I guess, this is your first podcast, is it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and this is my, I mean, this is not my first, but the movies, as I said, it's a special episode for us guys. So this is the first time I have come live for a movies episode. We just started live podcast last month for gaming. So all the other podcasts I have done is call the guest speakers in a cafe, or like, whenever I do events, I sit and record the podcast and then go and edit and upload. So that's been the way. But today, we have done it for movies. So from gaming, we have extended to movies. So thank you for paving the way to other topics. And how did you feel about your first podcast, especially straight away jumping into a live stream?
It was a little alarming. Uh, but thanks to you, you just told this, I think, a minute before we started. So it did not. So I didn't have that nervousness throughout the day, or I
Okay,
think
so
2 days back we discussed about this, or yesterday we discussed about this.
yeah.
So I didn't have the nervousness for like 24 hours that, oh, we'll jump into a live stream. So thank you for telling this to me just a few moments before. So, because why I'm telling this, why I'm saying this is because I really wanted to talk about this movie,
Hmm.
and I really feel that the original version should be watched. It's a very underrated movie, at least the Danish version, the original version,
Hmm.
and that more and more people should watch this movie.
Hmm.
uh, and that actually that was actually the dominant thought in my mind. So when you said that, hey, by the way, we are going live stream, I'm like, okay, all right. I just counted one, like I just counted till 10, and I was relaxed, and
Hmm.
I focused on talking to you about the movie. It was like how I would have like a video conversation or a video call with a friend and convince that friend that, hey, you know what, please watch this movie,
Hmm.
watch it in the original, for like watch the original version and not the remake for like in the beginning. So for me it was like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's more pressure for the what do you say, the anchor. Like live is more, so the same experience you'll be getting in recording podcast also. So we will be just having a recorder and so it's not much of a difference. So it's always what do you say, more like I have to control a lot of settings, check this sound, all these things. So and it's very comfortable because right now because of this, I ask people the preference, like, do you want to meet in a cafe or do you want to do it online? So I think a lot of people are comfortable in doing this online, connecting over Zoom or Google Meet. So it has opened a new platform or a portal in my channel. So thanks to Sam Cruz here again, we started gaming podcast last month. So that was the way. I mean, that paved the way for other topics, and you have helped me to extend this movie topic. And I had to suppress your excitement because when I asked about podcast, she came up with four movies and I had to tell, like, we'll have to cover only one movie per episode. So I just want to ask, like, will you be coming back to the podcast episode for talking about more favorite movies of yours?
Of course, I would love to.
Okay.
And next time, I promise I'll talk about a fun, lighter movie.
No, I would always prefer it to be like very special and unique movies like this, because even I am very selective, and I have done like decrypting movies about 40 or 50 episodes, and I have been very selective. It's like I'm a thriller freak, by the way, so I'm
Oh, okay.
gonna check out this movie as soon as possible, and it being an European movie, I would be more interested now. Okay. Good that you had a great time, and I'm sure you guys also enjoyed listening to this podcast. And once again, thank you, Sharmila, for coming and giving your voice for a movie podcast. And yes, let's wrap this show. And I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast. I'm MaddiE Dawson signing off with Sharmila. Please do watch this movie, Speak No Evil 2022, available in Amazon Prime. It's 1 hour 37 minutes, horror, drama, and psychological from the way it sounded. So definitely check it out. And you'll catch me live in another podcast, video, or live stream. Until then, you're watching MaddiE with MaddiE. I am MaddiE Dawson. Bye bye.
Bye.